We are going to do a bit of a warm-up, a little bit of a stretch, and then we'll get into our handstands. So I like to do a little bit of conditioning while we're doing handstands, especially if you're new. We usually get a little tired if we wait too long.
Yes.
So because it's cold, we're going to just warm up our body a little bit more. So I'm going to put my feet hip width apart, and then we're going to reach back and stand up. So my feet are facing forward. Reach back like you're trying to sit into a chair. But then,
Don't.
So I reach back this way. So my arms are a counterbalance. And then reach up onto your toes and back. And toes, heels, reach. And then we're going to put our hands on our hips and just do our calf raises. So up and then lower your heels. Try not to rock through your foot as you come down. So that looks like this. See if you can just keep your toes flat on the floor and push up. Nice and slow. Keeping your breath really calm.
Have to focus on the wall as we're
Find a point to stare at. I'm staring at Megan's toes and Megan's staring at the wall. Good, we're just going to do a couple of lunges. I like to go backwards, you can go forwards, it's fine. Nice and controlled. One thing we're going to focus on today is using our breath and keeping it quite calm. So I'll talk a bit more about it in a moment. But even as we're exercising, we're not holding our breath or going crazy. Let's put our hands on the floor. You can put your knees down and we're going to do some shoulder shrugs. So face the side, hands underneath your shoulders, and then just dropping your chest a little and pushing up. It's just my shoulders, my neck is relaxed. And my palms, my entire palm, is on the floor. Let's go into a front support, and we'll do some mountain climbers. So bringing your knee to your chest. Watch that your hips don't sink down, try to keep them a bit higher. If anything, you can be a little bit higher, so in an actual mountain position, and bring your knee to your chest. Let's cross. And then coming down. Take a little moment to roll out your wrists. And the other way. And then we're going to reach our palms towards us like this and curl your fingers in. And then curl them as tight as you can and then really slowly extend your fingers down. And you might feel a stretch through the back of your forearms. Keep your neck relaxed. Just flick your fingers out. Putting your hands on the floor, we're going to do some circles. So I'm just planting, I'm rolling around my palm, the edge of my palm really. My fingers are relaxed. They should be nice and wide. And it's like I'm imprinting my entire hand onto my mat. Nice. Let's go into a forearm plank. So I'll do it on the side. But we can keep our knees on the floor. Plant your hands, put your palms on the ground as well. Make sure that your elbows aren't too wide. So my elbows are about underneath my shoulders. And then I'm going to keep my knees on the ground. And then, pulling your tummy up, I'm going to stretch my legs off the floor and then place them back down. Yep. You can tuck your toes if you want to. So knees down and then reach those heels away and then just slowly floating them down to the floor. And then release. And I think that's all I wanted to do. So then we're going to pop up, we'll just stretch our neck a little bit. Actually, we'll do some shoulder circles. And then change direction. Is it your shirt?
Yeah.
Going and then the other side. And change direction. Let's take our arms out to the sides, little circles. And then let's flip our palms, go the other direction. Let's take our elbows in. Shoulders forward, front hip. And then opening our arms. Rotating your thumbs behind you. Cross, rotate. We're going to do, I don't know what this exercise is called. Palm up, this one. Usually when I say that, everyone goes, ah. But so palm stays up towards the floor, roof. Imagine you're holding a bowl or something, and then we're going to take it over our head and under our armpit. Over, under. Try to move from your shoulder blade, or just feel it moving as well. And then you'll try to change direction, so go behind and over. If you're not sure if you're doing it correctly, if you're doing something that looks like this, it's fine. And you go back together. And now the other arm. Make sure that you're still breathing, just normally. And then change direction. Good, let's cross one arm over. Keep your shoulder away from your chin, and then you want to push your straight arm into your bent arm. And then relax. Then we'll take it over our head. So grab your tricep and then try to have a neck. And then as you breathe out, if you notice that your rib cage has come up like this, try to breathe it down back to its neutral position. And then we'll do the other side. So cross, chin away from your shoulder away from your chin, pressing the straight arm into your bent arm. And then relax, and then taking it over your head, and then lifting your chin so you have a neck, and breathing your ribcage down. Let's put our hands on our hips and just turn our head really gently side to side. And then do a little chin nod. So you don't have to put your chin all the way to your chest. Just kind of give yourself like a double or a triple chin. And then lean your chin up to the roof. And then do a double chin. And then you can place your hands on your chest, just press down a little bit, and then you can lift your chin. You can clench your jaw a little bit, or like aggressively smile. And lift your chin to the corner, so it just stretches your neck a little bit, which is a bit nice. And now let's do a half circle at the top. And down the bottom. And a couple of full circles in both directions. And the other way.
It's Emily's favourite one.
Yeah, my neck always gets sore.
Yeah.
Let's give ourselves a lovely hug. And then take your arms behind your back and then opening your chest. And then open. So I've been doing a lot of yoga lately. And I like this phrase that this one instructor said. So she was doing a similar action to this. And then as you take your elbows back behind you, something I really liked was she said scoop your shoulder blades underneath to like create a shelf for your heart. To lift it up. And for me that was a nice, I guess, imagery. And it helped me find a bit more space in my chest, especially if you're somebody, I guess, that collapses through their lower back in that opening. I'm gonna scoop up there. Do just a couple of chest circles. And the other way. Little hip circles. When you're doing your circles, focus on lengthening through your lower back and using your tummy muscles to pull your pelvis under. And then change direction. Let's come down into a sumo. One shoulder forward. And the other. So I think Megan and I are both doing the same thing, whereas we're really trying to focus on keeping our spine quite straight and long. It's not rounded or dropped. Then hands in the middle, give your hips a bit of a shake, and bend and lift your sit bones. So again, I'm focusing on keeping a really straight spine. So if that means you can't extend your legs completely, that's fine. It'll either eventually get there, or it won't, I guess. But as long as we can keep our spine quite straight, and then if you need to flex it at the very end, that's okay. And then let's go into a triangle position, and just go for a little walk. Do whatever you feel your body needs. Let's bend our knees and then think about lifting your sit bones up before you put your heels towards the ground. And then bend your knees over the side. It's not very good in socks. Bend, lift your sit bones, and then flatten your And then let's put our knees on the floor. Keep one hand underneath your shoulder. One hand's going to go forward onto your fingertips. And then you're going to push your armpit towards the ground. And hopefully you feel a stretch just on the outer edge of your shoulder, or your armpit. Do you feel a stretch there?
I do.
Just checking. And then the other hand, fingertips on the floor, and then pushing. So if I roll my armpit more towards my face and press my fingertips a bit firmer, I feel it more intensely through the outer side of my armpit. And I'm going to do one more thing. So in our tabletop, I guess, or cat position, we're just going to stretch our leg out and then lifting it up. I'm going to do it with flexed toes, because it helps me connect to my glutes a bit better. So I'm going to lift the leg and really squeeze. Notice where your back is. Just try to find it in space. I think if you're watching, you can see that I'm not lifting my leg really high and I'm not arching through my back here. So if anything, don't lift your leg as high and really extend behind you out of your toes, really reaching as far away as possible. Try to pull your belly up. Because this is what we want to find in our handstand. So you're welcome to point, I guess we'll talk about this in a moment. Just keep going. Sometimes I give too much information. It's a bit easier when I can see everyone's face because I'm like, we'll introduce that later. Good. I think we're ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Good. One thing I didn't say was make sure that you have water close by. We're going to use the ball. And then I did mention earlier, this is going to be too much information, that today's focus is going to be on your breath. So just try to keep your breath really normal and natural and calm throughout the session. So when we're learning how to handstand, a lot of people will forget to breathe, and that's okay. But then when you get the chance, we do this really big inhale and then carry that through the rest of the session. So if we're taking that really forced breath of air in, if you do that now and you put your hand here and here and go, you can really feel that your chest moves a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah? So if we're trying to breathe in a handstand and we're practicing to breathe like that on the floor, then that's going to affect your handstand shape upside down. So really just if you put your hand on your belly here and just take really calm, small breaths, they don't have to be very large. Or fast. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it should look like there's not much going on up here, but you can definitely feel the air underneath your hand. So when you're in your handstand, if you can try to keep your breath really calm and just like that, then your shape shouldn't change as you breathe, which is what I see from a lot of the students, is they get into their handstand position and then they're like, oh, I have to breathe, and then it pushes them into an arch and then they come down.
Or they jiggle in little.
Yeah. So if you can just try to really focus on that today above everything else, then I reckon that's a good plan.
And if you're not breathing, that's also a problem.
Yeah, it really is.
Gotta find the perfect amount of breathing.
The perfect amount of breathing, and I guess how to breathe.
Yes.
So we're going to start by doing a couple of scorpion handstands. So scorpion handstand is this. You can put your arms up or down, I really don't mind, it's up to you. You take a big step, you place your hands down, you push, and then carefully coming down. So I'll do it on the side. What you are aiming to do is an L shape with your body. So one is like this, the leg that's pointing up to the roof is like this, and your other one is over here. So I'm not releasing through my back, and I'm just coming down. If you're comfortable, do it on both sides.
Yep.
Great?
Yep.
Let's do that.
I'll do it stick into my mat.
I don't like doing it with my hands up. So I'm going to do it with my hands down. If you're newer to handstands, you might prefer your arms up. I'm going to do it. Do they have music playing?
I can put music on.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
In the
I'm just not
background?
quite sure. It's okay. Keep going. Keep going, Megan.
I'm going.
Good. So both of us are really placing our hands on the mat. So just make sure that you're doing that as well. I was just wondering if the music was on.
I'll just put it on after.
That's okay. Because then they could probably hear this. That's all. Sometimes in music you can't hear that stuff. Just make sure that your back isn't arching. It's not a split handstand. So we'll just do a couple more. I'll watch Megan's. Good, and now we're going to do scissor kick. So a scissor kick is when you swap your legs. Try to swap them on the way up and not on the way down. So place and swap. We're trying to move our legs through our tummy muscles. And even if you feel like you could hold it and you're tempted to want to be up here and then swap, don't. Just swap. Up, swap, down. Really using your tummy muscles to dictate your legs. Yeah, got it. And swapping both sides if possible. Squeeze your bum. That's your best one, but squeeze your bum. So make sure you're really breathing, super calm. And also one thing that Megan is doing is she's not quite placing her whole palm on the floor. I can see her fingertips on the ground and then a lot of the weight's in the heel of her palm. Really try to focus on, okay, I'll do it to you today. So I always talk about how like your entire palm is 70% and then the rest is 30%. So really focus on planting your knuckles on the floor. I don't know where I was looking at time. I was like looking at Dan and so placing it down. Yeah, beautiful. So what that kind of naturally did anyway, and again, handstand is just a time for me to have a chat to people about all the things.
So it gives me breaks, that's all
It
good.
gives you breaks. When I talk about the rib cage, I'm just trying to remember everything that I did in yesterday's class, to be honest. But when I talk about the rib cage, I think a lot of the time we respond to this part. It's really important to remember that your rib cage is round. So when I'm talking about stacking your ribs on top of your hands, try to put the entire thing on your hands and not focus on this part. If you focus on that part, a lot of the time we just end up arching because you get scared.
Yeah.
But breathe out or in, and then place your rib cage on top of your hands. And usually that just helps everyone be a little bit calm.
Yeah.
Let's do it like 2 more. So really think about your rib cage and feel the bone. Yeah, great, good. That was different. I don't know.
I thought I was going to tip, so I was like, pull everything down.
Yeah. So a little extension on that is we're going to try to do a couple more swaps with our legs in our scissor kick. Even if you're feeling like you're not quite there with your scissor kick handstand, you're going to try it. So it should look like this.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. Just swap as many times as you feel comfortable. So if you are somebody who is taking a really long time to swap, you're not going to have the time. You need to swap a little bit earlier.
Yep.
I'll do another one. Yeah. Again, keeping it really calm. Really calm. I was like, bang, bang, bang. Because if you get a little bit, yeah, it's beautiful. If you get a little bit excited and go whack, usually that leg's going to pull you straight down. Beautiful.
That was like 100.
Yeah. But it kept you balanced
It did.
for longer.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I was
So
focusing on my feet.
I'm trying to trick you to stay on your hands for longer. Surprise. Yeah. Do it again. Until feet. So keep it really calm, stack your entire, put your whole rib cage on top of your hands, and just do little switches.
Oh, no.
Should be thinking it.
Goes back to the heel.
Using your tummy to move your legs.
It was stuck.
You're getting a little crazy with the legs on that one.
Because last one I got stuck.
One more. Keep it really calm.
Oh no.
Okay,
Oh,
we'll just do a handstand.
Sorry.
Wonderful. So that's a nice exercise. I enjoyed that one. Make sure you get a quick drink of water, and then we're going to do a Spider-Man handstand against the wall. Alright, so Spider-Man handstand, tummy facing the wall. Let's go out on more of an angle. So, yeah, be a little bit further away. Make sure that your hands are underneath your shoulders. Try to really, try to wrap your armpits in towards each other a little bit. Hopefully you've done a couple of my classes before, so you know what that means. And we're just going to hold it for a few breaths. Okay? I'll watch Megan, and then...
Is that a good distance?
Yeah, perfect. Now let's try to get the heels towards each other, and we're pushing the floor down, and we're reaching our heels or the ball of our feet up the wall, and just breathing really normally, and then you can come down. Beautiful. So if you're, this is also, it's that shape, so you can also practice this against the wall, so rotating the heels towards each other, planting the hands down, and keeping your tummy in. And then coming out. So we do, we're going to do another one, but this time I'm going to take one foot just off the wall, and then you can do the other side as well. So a little bit away, make sure that my hands are underneath my shoulders. Pushing. My whole palm is touching the floor. My neck is relaxed. And then I can just take that foot off the wall. And then the other foot. And then come.
Is that for finding the squeeze for your handstand shape?
It's really hot in here now. I put the heat up.
I'm dying.
It's so you get a little bit more weight on your hands.
Yes.
And then you can, because we do sorry. In my handstand classes, I throw a few different shapes at you to hold. I think holding a true handstand with your feet together is quite challenging to do.
Yeah.
And is I think it's pretty advanced. But I think it's a little bit easier to find your balance in different positions. Now, I want you to just get used to having your true body weight on your hands without affecting your shape. And a lot of the time, when we take that foot off, I'll see students kind of arch through their back, which makes it a lot heavier, and it's a lot harder to hold that position if you don't know how. So making sure that when we take that foot off, we're not changing our line. Go. So you can be a bit closer this time if you feel like it. And breathing, relaxing the neck, and then taking one foot just away from the wall. Beautiful. Just away. And then coming down. We don't need to hold it for very long. So what I'm looking for is, no change in Megan's line. We're going to just progress. So we're going to go into a Spider-Man handstand this time. I'm going to be a lot closer to the wall, and we're going to do pointing and flexing. So like this. So I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to point one ankle, and I'm going to keep my heels together, and then I'm going to flex it to touch the wall, and then point the other one. And then if you feel comfortable, you can try to change them at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you can even try to hold. If you're holding, what you should notice is if whenever you choose to put that foot back, it should touch the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah? So hopefully it looks like this. Sometimes.
Because I always get too excited with this one.
Yeah. So hands underneath your shoulders. Finding your line. So I don't know if you can see that, but I'm lengthening through my lower back. And then I'm going to pull my heels towards each other. And then my jump is in one of my face. And then pointing. And then flex. And point. And flex. And then I can try to go swap. And then I can even try to hold or hold. But I'm not starting to sag over here. Oh. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. I was not breathing. It's hard to breathe and talk at the same time.
That it is.
Alright. So any of those options. So Megan's line. So relaxing your fingers so that you can use them whenever you want to. Oh.
Bounced.
And then you always want to make sure that we're going slowly to our final position. Not that Megan was rushing too much, but maybe a bit slower. Start with your heels touching, please. And really extend out of your heels. Lengthen your lower back just that little bit more. Try to press your pubic bone towards the wall, and your knees are bent. And now don't bounce off the wall. Grow taller out of your heels and point, no sickling, and then flex to the wall, reaching out of that heel and then point. If you're starting to shift over. I don't think Megan was breathing.
I was trying.
But how are you breathing? Okay.
One tiny little breath.
So let's talk about that a little bit. I've been doing a lot of reading on breathing. I'm very excited by it. So we have nasal breathing and we have mouth breathing. So when you're breathing through, think of it this way, I guess. If you've just done a big run, or like run for the bus or something, and you're trying to catch your breath, if you breathe in and out through your mouth, you're basically hyperventilating, right?
Yeah.
So we're not calming ourselves down as efficiently as we could be if we're breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth, or just in and out through our nose.
Yeah.
When it's forcing you to do it slower and calmer.
Yeah.
Also, if you're breathing through your mouth, a lot of the time you're upper chest breathing, so you can trial that now if you want to. You go, yeah? And try it again and try to do it without lifting your chest. It's pretty much impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah? So if you're in a handstand and you're trying to breathe through your mouth and you go, you're constantly blowing up your chest and you're starting to move it out of your line. Unless you're really good at breathing through your mouth, which, I don't think it is. So let's take a breath through our nose. Just really calm. What you should feel is that your chest isn't doing that big rise and fall. Yeah? Breathe through your nose. Breathe through your nose.
Yes, got it.
Alright, try again. This is going to help you. All of that shifting is going to be smaller, hopefully. So, shoulders on top of your hands. Make sure that your knuckles are down, reaching out of your heels. And then nose breathing. Try to keep it all in the nose. And then flex. And beautiful. Yeah. See? Magic.
All comes down to the breathing.
It does though, because once you have your breathing under control,
Yeah,
you can
it
focus on so
stabilizes.
many other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone in class did so much better after they've really focused on that. It was
That's good.
Wonderful. I was very happy. Get a quick drink if you need to. I'm just staring at the time because I forget when we started. We
I
had,
didn't
like,
look.
I think we have 25 minutes left. So we're gonna try that again. Also, I don't know who's going to be watching this, so I'm just doing a whole bunch of different things. I'm basically copying the class that I just did on Monday, and there was a range of people in that class, of students who are still learning how to handstand to students who are working on free balancing. So if I progress past your ability, you could probably still try. We're doing everything against the wall, so give it a go. But then you can always go back to the exercise that you were previously working on. I always get people to do scissor kicks throughout the class.
Yeah.
Because it just helps bring back to your handstand foundations.
You force me to do them if I've been doing the same handstand over and over, and then I've like somehow managed to find my balance again.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. They're great.
Yeah. So it's always, don't feel like you have to move with us. All right. Let's do one more, and then we'll move on. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Okay. You're thinking about lengthening. I'm not telling you, Megan. I'm telling everyone else. Plant your hands. Make sure that your neck is relaxed. It can move. And then you want to stack your entire rib cage on top of your hands. Lengthen your lower back. Push your pubic bone towards the wall a little bit, really reaching out of your heels and then pointing from the ball of your foot up. And then you can flex and change. And then if you want, you can point both. And just always coming back to your, well, it's really hard to talk and do it. I don't know how anybody does it. Always coming back to your flex. Even if you feel like you can hold it for longer, it's just going to reinforce that you're in the right position if you're not changing too much.
Yeah.
I need to breathe. So it's hard to breathe.
Yes.
As we've established so many times.
Yeah.
And then when you try to catch your breath, again, I'm basing everything off my classes. Just keeping it really calm. Because when we take really big breaths through our nose, we start to feel really dizzy. And that's not good to take into your handstands.
Especially going upside down.
Yeah. Alrighty. So now we're going to move on to a tuck shape. So with your tuck shape, you can do a couple of things. You can just do a little tuck like this. You can also cross your ankles, which I know a lot of people like.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can do the full knee cross, which is what some people have really enjoyed doing.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want to do?
I might do the ankle cross.
Oh, cool. I'm going to do that one too. I'll demonstrate all of them. In your tuck position, we need to kick up to the wall, so you need to be comfortable doing that. So you can either just practice that one. It looks like you're arching, but we're not actively trying to relax and arch like this. We're always trying to reach and make our lower spine really long. So if your vertebrae kind of look like this, I'm not relaxing my hips over my head and crunching through my lower back. I'm trying to create as much space between my vertebrae as possible. But it's hard to see. So, kicking up, and then I'm going to bring my heels. It's like my heels and my sit bones have magnets on them, and they're drawing towards each other. From here, I'm going to cross my ankles and really press my ankles into each other. Draw my tummy in. Make sure that my shoulders are over my hands, and I'm breathing through my nose. If I feel like I can, you can see me just tapping off the wall, just very softly. Now when I'm tapping, I'm thinking about lifting my ankles up, not off, because it makes you fall.
Yeah.
Do you want to? So, relaxing the neck, finding your breath. Knuckles are grounded, not like angry spiders. And then really pressing slower. It's about the journey, not the destination, maybe. Yes, good. Beautiful. Whew. So we have that's good. We are thinking about our hands, our shoulders, our rib cage, everything, and then we're crossing the ankles. And what you should feel when you cross your ankles is a lot of feedback. All of a sudden your brain knows exactly where your ankles are. Now, if we're not squeezing our thighs together, then we have all of this space between our ankles and our hips that we don't quite know where it is. Or if we need to move it, then we can't. So really now let's focus on pressing our thighs towards each other. Look. So here, cross, press. Make sure that your shoulders are in place, your rib cage is over, and then belly pull in, reaching those hips up, pressing those ankles in, and squeeze your inner thighs. Just press them together. No sunshine through at all. Yeah? Yeah. Cool. Stunning. It's a very aggressive shape. Little cross. Point your toes, ankles together. You're doing a little twist, but it's
To the right?
Yeah, that. Thank you. Keep your rib cage entirely on top, and then we press the bottom leg up. And we take our time, and we don't hold our breath, Megan, because it pulls you down. So, this is an exercise I gave to the class yesterday. We're going to go into our tuck position, and even if you feel like even if you're not ready to balance up away from the wall, we're going to go from our tuck, and you're going to press your legs really hard into each other, and then try to really lightly stretch your legs all the way up to a straight position.
On the wall?
On the wall.
Oh, okay.
On the wall. And a couple of things will either happen. It'll either really heavily press against the wall, fine, whatever, you didn't die. 2, it'll be really light. Or 3, you'll magically land in a handstand because it'll just float up. Breathe. Calm. If you hold your breath, this will happen. And that's fine. You won't hurt yourself. So here, cross. And then press. Just give it a try.
Okay. And my goal is to keep my toes on the wall as I go up?
Yeah, I put it.
Cool. And so I just need to know what my steps are.
Just wherever feels right. We always want to try to be light in the toes. Now you will have to really press your legs together. You don't have to start so low. That's it. Beautiful. Breathe calmly. Now stretch your legs up, leading from the middle shin. Yes, good. Maybe one more. Press the inner thighs together. Long spine. Yes, beautiful. Coming down. That's enough. Woo, that was really nice.
Breathe.
The last one, even though you're up there for the longest amount of time, the last one was the calmest. I guess because you knew what you were doing.
Yes. And
But
my steps.
Your steps. Let's get a quick drink.
I brought the noisiest water bottle, I apologise. I normally bring my other one.
We usually have quite loud music.
That's true.
I can't remember.
What next?
I think we should do one more tuck handstand of whatever variety. If you're stretching up the wall or
Did we
not.
go through the other shapes?
No, I'll just show you.
Let's go through the other shapes.
So the next shape you can do is crossing your knees completely, and then I want to try to get my shins against each other. So the cross is just more extreme, and I'm going to bring my knees all sit down as far as I can, and it kind of forces me to really stretch out my lower spine, and then because I'm so jammed, I can't move anywhere, so it's great. So the way to get into that is here, and then I'm going to really cross and then relax my palms on the floor, and then bring my knees and try to shove my shins towards each other, and then that's the shape. So I'm not sure if you can see, but my back, is it arched?
Ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not
Yeah.
thinking about arching it. It just happened.
Yeah.
I got really dizzy. Because I'm not breathing.
All that talking upside down.
Yeah. So there's that one as well. You really have to commit to the full tuck. If you're open like this, there's lots of extra weight that will make you fall over.
Yeah.
So you're gonna try that tuck. You really have to like squeeze the deal. Have a go. And I'm gonna laugh. Yeah, and shins towards each other. Now long sit bones. Yes. A little bit of bouncing going on, if that's okay.
I like that one because it is such a good resistance against yourself.
Yeah, and there's so much feedback
Yeah.
because you're wrapping so tightly, you know where your legs are. Hopefully you should.
Yes.
It's really hard. And then you can also play around with extending that shape too. My brain has just gone blank. I can't remember what the next thing was. Let's do. It's probably a bit hard. It's a bit tough if I don't know who's going to do it. Let's try to work on this. So we'll do our scissor kicks again. Go. Planting your hands down.
That was
Everyone's using your tummy muscles. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to try to use our scissor kick approach, but join our heels together. Don't hold it. Bring those legs straight back down. Yes? So we go up, scissor kick up, and then down. Try to get your heels to touch. I don't think my heels. Sorry. So do another scissor kick, Megan.
Yeah. I'm sticking to this mat.
Do it again. Another scissor kick. Lift, lift. So your top leg, you're stalling.
This one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Kick up a little bit. Swap on the way up.
Okay.
Don't pause for anything. Just lift, lift. That's better. Lift, lift. Lift a little bit more. Now, our butt is a really important muscle. Its job is to get you into this position or a little bit further. Yes? You can't, if you stand straight and squeeze your bum as hard as you can't bend forward without releasing some of your glutes. So if you're piking up a little bit like Megan is, well then maybe you need to squeeze your bum. Squeeze, squeeze. It's nice. Lift the other leg a little bit earlier. So what I'm trying to get you to do basically is join your heels as soon as your feet leave the floor, not waiting for a long time.
Okay. Was that better?
Yeah, a little bit, but you paused. Do another scissor kick, just a scissor kick. Lift, lift for the roof. Yeah, that's a little bit better. One more. Up, up. Don't bring that other leg down. I'm trying not to go over. You won't go over. Up, up. Yeah, better. Way better.
Okay.
Now join your feet.
Okay.
So she's kicking up, and I'm not sure if you can see, but she's
I can
kicking
feel
up,
it.
and then as this leg is coming up, she's joining her feet instead of trying to lift.
Yeah.
So, use your inner thighs. So, as you're kicking up, don't just connect to your heels, but try to bring your feet together by pulling your inner thighs towards each other. Again, this is, well, not on me, but a long distance between your hip and your ankle. So if you can find your inner thighs and try to draw them towards each other, then it's going to help your heels find each other.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go here, then inner thighs lift, and then I can come down.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Inner thighs. Because if we're connecting to our inner thighs, we're likely connecting to our lower abdomen. Better. Yeah, good.
Okay.
And then you can try to hold it if you want to. But approach it the same way.
Oh no. Approach it the same way and change everything. Every time.
And relax. I feel like that's enough for today. So let's give our wrists a little bit of a roll out. So you can, I don't really like this, doesn't not much for me, but let's put our hand on the floor. I'll do something that actually works. And then I'm going to put my knee on the belly of the muscle, the forearm muscle, and just give it a nice little massage or just a nice little press. And then we'll do the other arm. And then let's have a lay on our back. And just breathe. You can have your feet a little bit apart. Let's shake our ankles and our hips. So just in and out. And then if you flex your feet, and I'm on a sliding floor, so I'll move back. Flex your feet, keep your heels on the floor, and if you just point and flex with your arms out, it just kind of shakes your spine a bit. Your feet have to be on the mat. Otherwise, you're not
I got it.
And you can just do it faster and faster and faster. It's a bit nice. Draw circles with your ankles. And then we're going to put our hands on our belly or our diaphragm. And just take really calming breaths in and out of the nose. Nice and just normal. And then coming up, and we're done. Thanks for joining. Happy handstanding.